Good evening. It is Saturday night, and here in Minneapolis, it is snowing and snowing and snowing and snowing and snowing about 4 inches on the ground now. We're all pretty much just hunkering down. Today was an exercise in getting stuff done before the snow actually came down and made it so that we all had to stay home. Good thing I have beer and vinyl and laundry to fold, and of course you good people. Now I know not all of you are here in the upper Midwest. Some of you are not even native to here, so if you if you can't quite empathize just because you don't have the vocabulary for it, understandable. If you have left here for warmer climes, just know that we all think you're quitters. Now, today I have found something, because this is a very winter. I mean, March is typically, oddly, a very snowy month. It comes down, it goes away in a few days, but it's still like the snowiest month of the winter. So I thought, let's think spring. And what do you think of when you think of spring? Baby birds. This is an album, one of those albums that I bought purely for the cover. It is called The Smart Set. The album is actually called First Sounds. I see, because they're baby birds. And this is a new experience in vocal sounds. Let's have this experience together. Sometimes that needle drops a little hard. So, now I have listened to this record before, and when I first, and this is side one, track one, I genuinely thought there was something wrong with my stereo. Like the belt was slipping. Somehow I had a 78 setting that I had forgotten that I had. No, it's just the way they're doing this song. And of course there is the requisite persuasive essay on the back of this one. And this one's a doozy. One wonderful thing about the human singing voice, said an ancient music critic whose name has vanished, but whose words remain. In its seemingly limitless possibilities, similarly, a song can be written with such promise of loveliness that it pleads for performance. While it must be admitted that much of what passes as vocal music today can scarcely be called noble, once in a voices and a song voices and a song combine in a magical way. The lightning strikes, the heavens part, and a glorious roar rolls forth to enchant the ear. Perhaps the Smart Set should not be called a glorious roar, but there's no denying the ear-enchanting, magical combination of voice and song. There are two smart sets involved here, the album itself and the singing group. Yeah, let's lay some metaphysics on your ass. And while the album is indeed a smart set of songs, it's the group which demands primary consideration. This is the kind of stuff I would have written like in an exam book in some English final about an author I didn't particularly care for. Groups are made, not born, unlike this group right here. By the way, why would you want your singing group to be represented by baby birds? Baby birds do not sound good at all. They're horrifying squawking. They haven't learned how to do it yet. And this group was made by Jimmy Joyce, who auditioned Hollywood's finest voices before settling on the particular combination which is heard here and now, singing its musical introduction to the record world. This, of course, is Cheek to Cheek. Now, they're doing a slightly more faithful version here as opposed to the narcoleptic Bye Bye Blackbird that we just heard. Joyce directs the group, Jimmy Joyce, and this means considerably more than standing up front and beating time. Long before the group became a fact, Joyce was hearing things in his head. Not hallucinations exactly. Rather, musical plans. And now, those plans are recorded reality. There are many singers in the world, though few who inject the necessary vibrance in their performance that spells the difference between the acceptable and the superior. The Smart Set give their material that strong and satisfying rhythmic feel, that almost indefinable zest that is the difference. Harmonically, the group has a truly modern sound. Not the sound for sound's sake kind of dissonance used by some ultra-progressives to progress themselves out of contact with an audience, but a happy sound that can be understood and enjoyed by people of any age. This sounds like by the way, a road dog talking about alternative comedy. Beyond this, there is that thing called interpretation, that special way of combining voice and song, which, in the case of the Smart Set, winds up being a distinctive and delightful experience. For this initial album, the Smart Set has chosen a dozen songs in the great tradition of popular music. They are standards, evergreens, the ones that live forever. And here, in their brand spanking new arrangements, with musical backing by Ralph Carmichael's orchestra, plus the Guitars Inc., they take on a new luster, a new life. Anyway, Jerome Kern and Oscar Hammerstein provide two of the songs. Old Man River and Why Do I Love You from the great jazz book of Duke Ellington come two more, Mood Indigo and Just Squeeze Me. Irving Berlin supplies Cheek to Cheek, Cole Porter, You'd Be So Nice to Come Home To, Warren and Dubin, I Only Have Eyes for You, and Coslow and Johnston, Moon Song Bye Bye Blackbirds, it says here, but it should be Blackbird. Typo! Just You and Me, How About You, and Bye Bye Blues fill the rest of the tracks. And altogether they add up to a dazzling dozen, 12 times Something Wonderful. A high-flying How Do You Do from the Smart Set. This is gorgeous, and I was, there it is, 1958. 1958. So, a lot of anger at those ultra-progressives, which I really want to know to whom that is referring. Rock and roll, Dave Brubeck, perhaps there's some sort of, I don't know, alternative vocal group thing that was happening in coffee houses and being applauded with snaps. I genuinely don't know, but that could be lost to history. The Smart Set, however, is evergreen, timeless. The next songs that we'll hear will be I Only Have Eyes for You, Moon Song, and How About You. I would say, by the way, the timeless aspect, the evergreen aspect of the song choices, I would say 2 out of every 3 falls anywhere remotely into that category, but how were they going to know, right? But there is a narcoleptic quality. By the way, why no picture of them other than, you know, you know, and now how many are there? Does it say how many there are? You know, I don't know. We don't even get the names of the members of the Smart Set. Oh. See, they do great in the jaunty stuff, but the ballads are just... If this is your first time, you know, kind of tuning in to one of these videos, this is what it is. I play one side of a record. Lately, I've been talking more about the records as I've gotten kind of comfortable with the format, whatever it is. And I fold laundry because it's something for me to do with my hands, quite frankly. And it's arguably it's multitasking, but it's really just something to do with my hands, and it just adds a little oddness to it. I'm trying to remember where I got that album. I want to say probably on the road. Usually that was where I was doing a lot of album purchasing. Probably a small town, judging from the condition of the album. Usually the small towns had the better quality oddities. I don't know why that is. I suppose sometimes they're vanity projects, and I've got a few of those that we'll be exploring in future weeks as well. This one, though, this is Warner Brothers Records. This was out on Warner Brothers Records. The First Name and Sound. It's a Vitaphonic High Fidelity. And then there's technical data. You never see technical data on albums anymore. Recorded range is 20 to 25,000 cycles. 3-channel Ampex 300 tape recorders. Latest condenser microphones in conjunction with Vitaphonic FNF optimum frequency range control. Mastering on specifically designed, electronically controlled variable pitch Scully lathes and Westrex feedback cutters. RIAA playback curve. Roll-off 13.75 dB, I assume decibels, at 10 kc. I don't know what kc means in that case. Caution! Be sure your playback stylus is in good condition. A worn needle will not reproduce the full fidelity of this recording and will shorten its life. This is Moon Song, I believe. Now, some of you may recognize these songs. I genuinely don't. I don't recognize Moon Song. So right now, of the 6 songs on this side, of the 5 so far, I've recognized 3.5 of them. I think I've probably heard You'd Be Nice to Come Home To. Probably. But truth to tell, I don't know that I recognized it. Given that I think that was one that I started humming the James Bond theme to because the chord progression reminded me of it. This kind of sounds like the sort of music that if you were at like a corporate party or at a really like at a big public corporate event, that this would be playing, and you would just be, you'd kind of like, well, should I acknowledge them? Are they? I mean, is it just background music? Or should see, now I have the dilemma. Do I applaud? I suppose I do. They're talented, but we're just having all right. Don't have to worry about that again for 3 minutes 50.
I like New York in June. How about you?
Ah, I recognize this one. Just never knew the name of it.
How about you? I like a fireside when a storm is due. I like potato chips, moonlight drifts. How about you?
Imagine the dynamic as they're performing this.
Just can't get my baby there. The president's good looks give me a thrill.
The president's good looks give me a thrill. Well, I don't know that this is a new experience in vocal styles. I know that when I bought the record, I expected something a little more experimental, oddly enough, a little more progressive. But that's just kind of part of the generally passive-aggressive nature of the essay on the back, that it is unabashedly old-fashioned. But apparently the people in the album packaging side, like the side one people, did not know what was going to be said on side two. Because this is not a new experience in vocal styles. Also, baby birds sound horrible. Birds sound great. Baby birds, constantly, they're rapacious little bastards that get into your vents and then you have to pull them out. And actually happened to me once. All right, everybody. Well, if you are in here in Snowland, hunker down, enjoy your time together. If you have to travel, of course, be safe, and enjoy the rest of your Saturday evening and your Sunday morning, or the rest of your whatever after you watch this video. And now the awkward reaching as I turn you off. Because of course I'm here and I have to keep you like at an up level, because up here I look, and so then we're going to hit finish.